Hey everyone, today for another vlog, and for this one I'm quite excited because I think it's the first time in a while since I've actually understood something new about myself, like something genuinely new, right? Like not just a subtlety or an example or understanding something more, but like something genuinely new about myself. And this is the idea of emotional knots rather, which cause tiredness. So let me describe what this is and why it's so important to distinguish it from normal tiredness. The key distinction is that emotional knots require action. And this is why I've been stuck for so long in tiredness. Even before these vlogs started, I've experienced tiredness like probably like the last years of uni, like even like the past 1 or 2 years, I felt quite tired and I never really understood why. And I think now I understand it much better. Uh, it's still difficult to work through it, right? As I'm going to talk about it, but at least now I understand, and it feels really nice to at least know how to improve my situation because before it was kind of despairing to not know how to get better, but now I know. So an emotional knot is it's a cause of tiredness, and it's as the name implies, it's emotional, right? In my case, it was the result of wanting to draw, right? From wanting to do art, but having really high expectations. Um, yeah, I'm just really scared of being overwhelmed with what I was trying to do. And as a result, I would just keep delaying and never really do the thing I wanted to do. And and as a result, there was kind of like a desire, right, that was always repressed under all of these difficulties and expectations. And this desire just kept being repressed and repressed, and it just made me so tired because like there was this thing I wanted to do so much, but like, just so many difficulties, and this is what I mean by the knot. Well, it's like you want to do something, but there's like a massive knot that you need to entangle, and you don't really want to get to it, and so it's uh, like my reaction to that was just let me do it another day, but of course this will never solve the problem, right? And this is why static rest or like just sleeping more, whatever, doesn't help the problem because you just keep getting away from the main problem, which is all of your expectations and the emotional pain you're getting away from. In my case, the emotional pain from all of these expectations with regards to drawing. And so the solution is actually action. In fact, I've been drawing more loosely the past days, and it has definitely felt much better, much better than usual um, because now I can actually see like all of my expectations and I can kind of feel them, and it's not super easy to work through them, but at least I have like a plan, right? To just focus on drawing instead of focusing on drawing like well, like sort of dropping this ideal of dropping well. Yeah, it's interesting, right? I think emotional knots are probably true in various domains, even in life in general, right? I'm not even sure it has to do with high expectations, but I think this is like the example that speaks the most clearly to me. It's basically like trying to do something, but you're so overwhelmed when you're doing it that you just keep pushing it back and back and back. And because you really want to do it, right? But at the same time, there's a lot of resistance doing it. It's like if you were driving a car, but you had the brakes on, like the handbrake was on. It's like that, like it's super tiring, right? Because you basically have to work so much harder to do the usual same thing, and so you basically just stop, right? You basically stop doing the thing. But because it's something you really wanted to do, well, it's that is really draining for a person. Actually, I'm not really sure I understand the cause of the emotional tiredness. It's more of the I'm more trying to describe what is going on, right, than trying to like give a cause and effect. But this is my experience, right? So I've also seen this with writing, right? Like constantly, like if you've ever tried to write like a university, uh, you know, like an essay or whatever, you've probably felt that, like the feeling that you need to do something, but you just, like every time you're thinking about doing it, it's just you're just so done with it. Like it's so unenjoyable, right? And every time you get to do it, it just feels like a massive grind, and it's really tiring for that reason. I think that's the same thing. I very much remember being very tired when I was writing my last year essay, so it was like a master thesis. I remember being so tired, and every time just the idea of getting myself to go to the keyboard and write was so fucking exhausting. And now I realize it's an emotional lot. It's why the ability to just do, right, to just write or to just draw with way less expectations is so crucial. But it's not just a matter of uh, keep yourself going, although that's really important, of course. Right? Being able to keep yourself going is really important, but it's also about yeah, just removing that friction, removing that emotional friction, and to just really find a way to not get yourself stuck in that mental state, right? Yeah, it's really interesting, and it's really interesting how I've literally had no one give that framing to me until I started going on Twitter today, and I read some of Visa's tweets, and I can link the tweet in the description. It was I think emotional lot is the exact term he used, which is why I'm using it because it's a really good one. Quite distinct from physical tiredness. So the solution then is being able to do something with just way less expectations, just doing the thing, preferably doing the exact thing you want, right? Not just like if, for example, if you want to draw a comic, for example, you should probably draw a comic, even though it might be overwhelming and whatever, just with really low expectations. But just do a shitty thing, just do a shitty comic, so you actually can have a starting point for something. So preferably the thing you want to draw or do, but closer is just if you can do something closer to it, then that's an improvement for sure. Yeah, it's it's very crazy that this has been the story of my life for the past years, and it's only now that I can kind of see it, like see what's going on. Uh, I really want to do like I've had so many ideas of stories of comics to draw and illustrate, but my ability to make progress on comics has been so non-existent. And I think that that's just been building up for a while to this emotional knot, right? To just like all of these expectations, trying to do something super ambitious, but falling completely flat, completely short of it. And it's yeah, no wonder that I'm so physically drained all the time. Like it feels like there's this huge part of me that wants to do something, but then there's kind of the reality that of not being able to do anything, not making any progress towards it, and yeah. So right now I'm focusing on just making shitty things, right? Just doing the drawing. Doesn't matter how it is, just doing the thing. And kind of putting this quality mindset in the back for now. Just focusing on quantity and on movement and flow rather than yeah. It's easier said than done, and this is very likely the topic I'm going to explore for the next period of for this next period. So it's going to run from April to June. And it's going to be wait, let me think about it. So uh, April, May, June. Yeah, April, May, June is going to be 3 months, and it's going to be probably all about that. So I kind of removing this perfectionist paralysis. And the last vlog I talked about expectation paralysis, so it was very related. So I was getting very close to understanding this concept in the last vlog, but now I have the emotional component to it. Now it's and why I'm so tired, which is yeah. I don't think I would have ever made that connection, like the expectation part and the tiredness part, up until today, if it wasn't for Visa's tweet. So yeah, that was a. I'm really glad I've come come across Twitter and especially Visa's tweets because he writes about such relevant things and he has so many fucking tweets. The guy has 225,000 tweets. It's insane. It's insane, and the way he like weaves all of the tweets together to make points and all that, it's so fucking amazing. I'm really Really lucky I've come across this guy. So yeah, I don't really think I have anything to add. It's because right now I'm just in the beginning of understanding that about myself, or but yeah, this is gonna be my kind of my trend for the next months is to be able to untangle that emotional knots, to just do the thing I want to do, no matter how shitty it is. And yeah, I hope this video has been helpful. If you find it helpful, I would like to, you know, I would appreciate if you like sort of wrote a few words about your experience with that. And I'll see you next vlog. Probably gonna be the last one for this period, but just gonna be a summary for everything that happened. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.